Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Friday, September 1st, and it's the beginning of a Memorial Day weekend. I am not working today, and so I'm going to do a short one here. I will be paying limited attention to the feeds this weekend, as I've already said. I have a wedding, one of my kids, actually. I may have mentioned this before, I think, and so it's going to be a very busy weekend for me, but of course I will still be peeking in no matter what. I just can't help at least to know a little bit of what's going on. So you'll probably see the occasional tweet from me. I don't anticipate doing another car cast until either Sunday late in the morning or Monday. One of those two probably. So what's going on? Well, first of all, those of you that follow me on Twitter know that I didn't watch the show live. I actually had to run out due to a clothing emergency for someone, not me, but I had to go out and run to the store, and it was like, you know, we're getting ready for this big thing this weekend, so I was like driving and like, okay, I actually had the show on my YouTube TV on my phone, and I was kind of listening to it, but before we got to the actual eviction, I had gotten to the places I had to be, so I paused it, ran around and did my stuff. Did I watch the vote? I don't know if I got to the vote. I think I saw all the precursor stuff, and of course, you know, I'm for most of you, you've seen the show, you know what happened. So I'm still going to talk as though for those that don't, because I know a couple of you don't watch the show anymore and just listen to me. So they showed they showed everything going on. They showed the lead up to it. They showed Matt telling Suri that he had the power. No, I don't know if they showed Suri telling Jared that Matt had the power, but when we were left, we never saw. It looked to us, by all means, that I didn't think Matt was going to use the power. But then they showed a clip where Suri and Matt were like saying, "Yeah, you should use the power. Yeah, that'll mess everybody up." And it was like evil genius kind of stuff. And I just thought, when did that conversation happen? Now, I don't know when it happened. It wasn't on the feeds. We know that. And so at some point, it appears they agreed that Matt would use the power. But I don't know if it happened before we saw Matt tell Suri, or if Suri. Yes, Suri. Man, I'm just, yeah. Sorry, it bothers me every time I say your name. Or if it happened sometime when the feeds were down, like late in the day yesterday. But whenever that conversation happened, we went through the entire vote. This annoys me to no end. I'm not kidding you, I was yelling in my car at my phone because, you know, as somebody's walking, you know, to the diary room, it's like the trade out, and Julie does these monologues between each one. Blue is closely aligned with Jared, but has she also seen the light? And all this is just complete filler while they walk into the room and sit down, and I just don't need it. It is the biggest waste of 10 minutes every week now. This is the fourth week in a row with a unanimous vote. The most unanimous votes in a row ever to start a season were two. I'm sorry. Thank you to the Wiki Big Brother Wiki folks. The most ever was 2, and now we're at 4. They are just voting unanimously. It is boring, and we are having to sit there and watch it without even someone throwing just even a hinky vote. You know, some people thought maybe America will throw a vote to Jared as a sympathy vote, but they won't do that because they're too afraid of upsetting anybody else. Because if anybody had thrown a vote to to Jag, it would have been assumed that it was America, and America didn't do it, and nobody did. So it was a unanimous vote to evict Jag. When Matt went in to vote, Julie specifically said, "Let's see if Matt decides to save Jag." Or to let the vote go, or whatever she said, implying that was going to be the moment where Matt would say, "I'm going to use my power, Julie, and so we're going to save him no matter what." But he didn't. He voted to evict Jag. So production knew this, right? They planned all this out. So the vote was unanimous to evict Jag. Jag gets up, dead silence. He hugs everybody. quiet, but they didn't talk at all. It was so somber, and he's heading to the door, and suddenly they get the announcement that, hey, everybody come back to the living room, and Red grabs this slip of paper which basically says the power's been used, and Jag has not been evicted, in addition, Cameron still gets to play for the next head of household, that's not what we expected. We thought he wouldn't be allowed to, but obviously they decided, oh no, we'll let him play. So Cameron gets to play in the head of household competition. Jag gets to stay. The entire week is basically wiped out, as was pointed out by some people. Wow, that was a lot of 14 hours of nothing for Cameron, right? I mean, he got to stay in the head of household room. He got a letter from home. Now, those are the bonuses he got, but in the end, he had to nominate people, and then it all got wiped out. Obviously, Cirie decided, I'm surprised. There must have been some weird pressure there, because I think Cirie's thought was that she would get Jag on her side by convincing him that she got Matt to save him with the powers. So Jag kind of owes her because she ended up saving him. Meanwhile, afterwards, after the feeds went down, and later on that night, people were explaining to Jag. I don't know if he was hearing it though. That's the problem. That's a whole nother take here. Let me get back to that. But they were telling him, Cirie orchestrated all this. She orchestrated all this to vote you out. And that was her doing, and we were told that it was happening. So obviously, in Jag's mind, if he's thinking clearly, he should realize that she's playing a huge game and playing with it. And in my opinion, playing with his emotions, playing with it mentally, telling him, knowing that he's going to be voted out and then let back in. It is what it is. It's the game. But I'm a bit annoyed. I don't dislike Cirie, but I think she's got too many advantages. Look, Matt went to her. We found out last night, at least according to the diary room, that Matt went to her because she's a big Survivor player. So he took the hero worship status, which we've talked about in the past, of, when the returning players come back, they get a bit of a hero worship where, oh my gosh, you're a star. I've seen you on TV. And even though we're on the same show now, you're still a bigger celebrity than me, right? Well, Cirie, big, huge Survivor person. So what does Matt do? I'm going to go to Cirie and get her thoughts because she's done a lot. Now, here's a conspiracy for you. What if they're asking Matt, what are you going to do? He's like, I don't know. Well, who do you think you could talk to about it? Oh, well, you know what? That's a good idea. Maybe I should talk to Cirie. I'm not saying they led him down that road to talk to Cirie, but to have him say, Cirie's been on a lot of reality, on Survivor a lot, so she'd have good strategy ideas. I think I'll go talk to her. That just seems so convenient. It seems so convenient, but it is what it is. Doesn't matter. As I said at the beginning of the season, this season is thrown out the window as far as I'm concerned. Once they announced that Cirie was going to be on it, it was like, all right, it's hand her the game. It is her game to lose, and she certainly has been playing it well and also gotten lots of help, right? I mean, her son's in it. Yes, that's a liability. Well, is it really? The hero worship, look at Corey is not going after her. He seems to want to keep her around, thinking that that's illogical, that she's a big shield for a long period. No, dude, you should get her out as soon as possible. Izzy obviously is completely indebted to her. Jared, as the son, hasn't really been that bad for her game, and now he's got a girlfriend who said, I'll never reveal your secret, and she apparently thinks that mom is really Cirie and not Felicia. All right. Anyway, so the whole point here is that Cirie's still running this game. So I'm having fun watching it, but I'm anticipating that she's going to win it. And until she's out of the house, that's the way I'm looking at it. So, back to Jag. So Jag now, he's back in the house, right? They have the head of household competition. It was a knockout competition. I don't know. I know why, because they just don't want to show us anything anymore. This could have been done in 5 minutes on the live feeds, but no. You know what? I think part of it now is that they have to accommodate Matt, so they're probably really hesitant to do these live competitions in front of us in case they have to intervene because of Matt's issues. So yeah, we're not going to see these competitions probably live as long as Matt is in them. They won't let us see them just because they might have to. It will look awkward if they have to do anything to accommodate him. And I don't have a problem with them doing anything to accommodate him, and I'd be fine watching it, but it's TV, so they don't want to spoil the magic of it. So the knockout competition is one where somebody gets to pick two people. I think they did a random draw. So two people got selected to go head to head, and then the winner gets to pick the next two people to go head to head, and so on and so forth until you're down to two people and someone wins. Well, it tends to reveal alliances because you tend to put two people that you don't want to stay, you put two people that you aren't with up against each other, so at least one of them is gone. So every time somebody's up, they get to pick two people that they want to be out of it. And so it should become apparent to people paying attention where the alliances are and who's with who. And I guess, I don't know if Izzy got put up several times, but Jared never got put up. I think America got put up a couple times, but the point is it became obvious at least some about where things stood because they some kept getting put up and some weren't getting put up at all. In the end, it ended up being Izzy against Jared, and that was Jared's first time in the competition, and Jared didn't even buzz in. Izzy buzzed in wrong. Izzy had the wrong answer, so Jared won by not doing anything. So Jared is the head of household. I'm going to have to wrap this up here now because I am getting close to my destination. But Jared is the head of household. He's probably going to nominate Red and Cameron, which, okay. I mean, if it sticks and one of them goes, I'm okay with it. I am team Corey, America, Jag. I don't play with Nicole as well, honestly. Just because she's not super strongly aligned and she's kind of an outsider. I tend to be with the outside. I'd be fine with Matt. I have a problem right now with Izzy, Sari, just because of her status. Jared, I'd be okay with Blue too. Jared, because he's just a bit entitled. And he just drives me a bit crazy. I'd be okay with Felicia too. I just don't think Felicia stands a chance. It's really Jared and Sari that I don't want to win. And I'm not trying to be anti them as people. I just don't want them to pull it off, and I want it to go against what I'm expecting to happen. And what I'm expecting to happen is for Sari to win. So Jared's head of household. Blue spent the night up in the bedroom. Who knows? The cameras went off at 1:45 in the morning and they never came back on. And now the house guests are up again, so the plotting has started. There will be nominations today. Jared, let's see how big Jared's head gets as head of household. He already gave Matt grief because Matt told Jared last night, by the way, I had the power. Jared already knew, right? Because Sari told him. But Matt told Jared, I think Sari encouraged him to. And Jared proceeded to give Matt grief for not telling him beforehand. Like he was a bit blindsided and disappointed. Okay, whatever. There was also a point where it looked like Jag was giving America grief for not voting for him to stay. And you can't blame her. You just can't. Now, Corey in the meanwhile, also last night I went back and flashed back a little bit last night, watching Corey talk to Jag with America in the room. And Corey said, did I fight for you? Yeah, kind of, but it really wasn't great for my game to put up too much of a protest when the whole house was going against you. That's not winning Corey any favor. There's no point in being that brutally honest with Jag. He said he's being totally truthful and everything, but guess what? Nobody else in the house is being totally truthful, so you're not doing yourself any favors being totally truthful. Because on the other side, everybody else is telling Jag, look, we were all for you, but it didn't happen. And look, Corey really wasn't pushing very hard, and we were trying, but he just wouldn't bend. It's like you don't, unless you are 100% sure. And even then, look how close Sari and Jared are. And Sari has not been totally honest and open with Jared on everything, in my opinion. So yeah, you don't. That's not going to win you thing. Don't think you're doing yourself any favors, hurting someone's feeling that's in your alliance by telling them, yeah, I really didn't try that hard to keep you this week. That's not going to work. I mean, you just need to figure out how to phrase it and say, you know what, Jag, I tried. I really tried. It just wasn't happening. It was very obvious. Da-da-da. And I think if Jag heard it from them, he heard people tell him America wanted to vote for you, but she couldn't, and she was not happy. And I saw where people told Jag that. But then I also saw that Jag seemed to be giving her grief for that she should have voted for him. So that's where I question Jag's game. What kind of game does Jag have? What is Jag thinking? And why should I root for Jag if he doesn't know how to play Big Brother? That's my problem. I like the guy. He's a nice guy. But now I'm really questioning how good is he at Big Brother. But he's one of the favorites, right? Corey, Jag, and Matt, along with Suri, were the top 4 vote getters by the popular vote by the people on the watching TV. That says a lot. Those are people you want to keep around. Now, maybe that's why, if production influenced them to try to keep Jag, maybe that's why, because they want to keep in the popular people. You don't want to lose the popular people. So, I don't know. But I think, if Jared does nominate Red and Cameron, we'll see who somebody wins power veto, and how that all falls out. I'm not going to say at this point that Red or Cameron are going this week. I'm not making that prediction on a Friday when we haven't even gotten to nominations yet. But it's interesting. It's entertaining. It's certainly not boring, right? Those are all things to remember. It's not boring. There's stuff going on. I wish they would let us see a little bit more of on the TV show. I don't think there was an advantage to them not letting us see the head of household competition, but I'm going to go with it's a production decision because of Matt. Now that I think about it, I don't think we don't want them to see it. I really think they're concerned if there's any kind of problems with Matt that they will be awkward and they can't definitely punch it out. It was done very early, apparently. It was done like at 8:30. That's the thing. There's the thing that annoys me. They didn't come back from the live feeds. They held the live feeds off for 2.5 hours after the competition was over, it sounds like, because they waited until the West Coast airing was done before they turned the feeds back on. That's annoying. Wish they wouldn't do that. But other than that, things are going all right. I'm enjoying the show. It's a good cast. They're good people. I like them all, even as much as some of them drive me insane. They're not horrible people. Cameron's a bit full of himself in some ways, but he's not a bad guy. Red is not a bad guy. Nobody's a bad person. Jared's not a bad guy either. He just kind of annoys me, right? That's where I'm at with that stuff. So just remember all that. Is don't get so passionate that you can't see straight. It's not worth it. It's supposed to be a fun thing. Enjoy it. As we always used to say, don't root for you don't have a favorite. Your favorite's not going to win. And then Taylor turned the tables on that, right? That's I was like, yeah, the odds are slim. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. So that's what I got for you guys. I hope you have a good weekend. Again, I know I'll be watching a little bit. I'll be checking in occasionally. I can't help but look at my phone, right? We're all addicted. We all check our phones all the time. I will be checking my phone to see what's going on in the house, and I will certainly share what I find out. And I did actually drag my computer with me, although I don't know if I'll turn it on or not. But, you never know. It's going to be a long next Friday tonight. Today's Friday. Today and tomorrow are going to be very long days for me. I hope I don't have the time to check things out, to be honest. I hope I'm so busy and things are going so great and I'm having such a good time that I don't even think about Big Brother for the next 2 days. That'd be awesome. But I can't help but my mind wander and get, flip down and look at my phone briefly. So it'll happen, I'm sure. But you guys have a good weekend. Be safe, be sane. Thank you to all my supporters, my patron supporters. Shout out to Ryan, one of my new supporters, who messaged me last night, or messaged me a couple of days ago. Anyways, messaged me and I replied to it. That I didn't realize he was in a Twitter Spaces that's hosted by a guy named Hash. He was in that Twitter Spaces, I guess. So that was cool. Didn't even know about it, but had a good time. Had a great time talking to people. And that's it. I'm done now. Talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.